In this video, I will cover the complicated system of getting vaccinated in Japan, especially if you're a foreigner, and I'll share my own personal experience receiving the vaccination here in Japan. So let's get started. Hi, I'm Mike Matsuno, the man in Japan. I'm originally from Hawaii, a foreigner in Japan, and have lived in Japan for over 25 years. On this channel, I share about my life in Japan, so if you're interested in hearing about Japan, please hit that like button and subscribe. Getting vaccinated in Japan is very different compared to places like the United States, where you can just walk into any drugstore or Costco or Walmart and get the vaccination for free with no appointment needed. In Japan, the vaccine rollout continues, but it is very strictly controlled by the national and local governments. Every registered foreign resident and Japanese citizen qualifies to receive the vaccination for free. Please note that unlike the United States, overseas foreign tourists and visitors to Japan do not qualify. You must have a registered address with your local city and ward office here in Japan, which means if you're a foreigner, you have an alien registration card and a long-term Japanese address. Even as a registered foreign resident in Japan, you still cannot get vaccinated until you have received the official government vaccination number, sometimes also known as the vaccination coupon or voucher in the mail from your city or ward or town office. This basically confirms that you live at some address in Japan. So if you have no long-term residence in Japan and you have not registered with the local city hall, you will not be able to receive your vaccination number. Be aware that each city or ward office will send out their residents' vaccination numbers on different dates. So it all depends on how efficient your local city hall office is. Once you get your official vaccination number in the mail, you will have to look for your local city or prefectural vaccination center and make an appointment or reservation to get vaccinated. The number of vaccination centers are limited and it has been quite difficult for many people to get an appointment or reservation. In addition, there are 2 national vaccination centers in Tokyo and Osaka that anyone in Japan with a vaccination number can make an appointment. However, recently, it has also been difficult to get an appointment even at the national vaccination centers. The national vaccination centers vaccinate about 15,000 people a day. As an officially registered foreign resident, you are entitled to the same vaccination rights as Japanese citizens. However, almost all vaccine-related information is in Japanese. And if you do not read Japanese, it's very difficult to find out what to do and where to go. Some vaccine centers take appointments online, but again, you have to be able to read the online Japanese to register. So this limits foreigners, and usually only those who are married to a Japanese or have a friend or someone who will be willing to help them and can navigate the system can they do this effectively. The biggest problem for foreigners living in Japan is to know where and when to go and how to set up an appointment. The other confusing part is that every city, ward, and town have different reservation and appointment procedures, vaccination systems, and locations. The actual vaccine stock is managed by the national government, but the implementation and running of the vaccination centers and distribution to local doctors and vaccination sites are conducted by the prefectural and local governments. If you are a foreigner, I think the most convenient way to find out information is to visit and speak directly with the person in charge of vaccinations at the local city or ward office that you have registered at. I speak some Japanese, but I cannot read or write Japanese, so I had to go directly to the city hall twice to ask about vaccinations. The first time I went to my city hall in May, the city hall staff person said they had no idea of when the vaccination numbers would be sent out for my age group. The second time I visited the city hall at the end of June, they told me that it would be sent out in the first week of July. They also said that after I received the vaccination number, I should first ask my primary physician if he or she is one of the doctors who administers COVID vaccination. And if so, to make a reservation and get vaccinated there. I was a bit confused because back in April, I had already asked my local primary physician, Dr. Okamoto, how and where I could get a vaccination. At that time, the vaccine rollout was just getting started for seniors 65 and older, and everything was still being figured out. Dr. Okamoto said that all vaccinations would be controlled and run by the various government levels, and he did not know or have anything to do with vaccinations. So I would have to go and talk to the city hall people. But soon after, due to the extremely slow rollout and lack of enough vaccination sites in Japan, the local city government started asking some local doctors if they could start vaccinating their regular patients. I found out that day at the city hall that Dr. Okamoto had agreed to administer vaccinations. So when I received my vaccination number in the mail, I quickly went to see him to make a vaccination appointment. He booked me a reservation for 2 weeks later, and I had my first shot on July 17th. If this video is bringing you value, please subscribe to the channel. So if you have a local primary physician who is administering vaccinations to his or her regular patients, That would probably be the easiest and quickest path of least resistance, or perhaps if your city or ward hall conducts their own vaccinations, that would be the best way. I was quite worried that on that first vaccination day that there would be a long line and I would have to wait 2 or 3 hours to get vaccinated. I also thought that I would have to deal with the countless numbers of checks and confirmations and paperwork. I had seen this on the NHK news countless times where people were waiting for hours to get vaccinated, so I was expecting the worst. On July 17th, although a bit apprehensive, I rode my bike to Dr. Okamoto's clinic, and here's what happened. So you're not gonna believe it. I came to get my vaccine shot, and I was in and out within 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes at the most. My appointment was 1:30. I came in early, 1:20. Nobody was here. He called me in about 1:22. I went in, gave him the paperwork. Not everything was filled out, so he helped me fill it out and asked me a few questions. Got the shot. Dr. Okamoto just gave it to me right there. That's it. It was really fast. Then he just took the sticker, put it on the voucher or the paper, and he gave me back the second sheet for next time. He wrote the time on my envelope. 3 weeks, August 7th, 1:20. He said, that's it? He said, yeah. I said, should I be like not drinking any medicine or whatever? He said, no, just regular. He said, your arm might be a little sore tomorrow, but that's it. So he did the right arm today. He'll do the left arm next time. I don't know what the big, like you see on TV, it's taking so long and taking hours, people waiting and people lining up, people waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get down to the National Vaccine Center. And so I was worried that, coming here, people be waiting. My paperwork wasn't all done because I couldn't read all the Japanese kanji. I was kind of dreading coming in, like, oh, gotta go through the motion. Anyway, when the Japanese, when they get it done and they have a system, sasuga Dr. Okamoto sensei. So the first shot was quick and easy with no wait or problem. The next day, my arm was a bit sore and tender, but with no other noticeable side effects. 3 weeks later, I was getting ready to return for the second shot at the Okamoto clinic. So I'm getting ready to head to Dr. Okamoto's to get my second shot. He's about a 5-minute ride by bicycle away from here. All I need to bring is this vaccination number that was sent to me in this envelope by the Kyoto Nabe City Hall. Once you have this, everything else, it's free. You don't have to pay for anything. He takes off that sticker. You can see a sticker missing. He used that first sticker. He put it on the first shot, the form, and I'm sure he'll take a second one from here and he'll put it on the form and then send that into the government. I guess that would probably validate that you had gotten the vaccination and probably helps when you want to apply for the universal passport. I'm here at Dr. Okamoto's clinic. I'm going to get my second shot of Pfizer. I had my first shot about 3 weeks ago. I'm not worried, but I was, a little bit just not concerned, but a lot of people had stronger side effects on the second shot, so we'll see what happens. I'll take it easy for the rest of the day after today. So that was it. It was same as last time. I went in there, this time was faster, less than 2 minutes. He asked a couple questions, put the sticker on, gave me the shot, and I was out. And there were only 2 people in there. One person was already in when I came. The other person had finished. I don't know what's going on in the other vaccination stations. You hear on the news, people are, can't get reservations, appointments. I just talked to my friend Mosang at the Indian restaurant. He didn't know where to go. I tried to send him to the city hall. and they have prefectural and city clinics and vaccination centers, but there are not many of them. There are few, as well as they are in different outlying areas, so it's hard to know where to go, especially when you're a foreigner. If you don't know Japanese that well, or you cannot read or write like myself, then it's really difficult. The easiest would be to come to your primary physician, your local doctor that you regularly go to, if you have one. And if your doctor is offering the vaccination, then that would be the easiest. That's what happened for me here. If not, I would have had to go to maybe Kyoto City, or maybe to somewhere in Kizu or Shin-Hosono, where they have a prefectural center, I guess. But you still gotta call in, and you gotta do it all in Japanese and get an appointment and go down there at a certain time. And sometimes you can't get it for another few weeks. Some people even said they have to wait a month or so or longer. So just happy that I got it done. There is so many different systems, prefectural, city, local, national, and you just have to find the one that's the easiest and most convenient for you and try to get it done as quickly as possible. The goal is just get it done, right? Thanks for watching the video. If you like the content, please hit that like button and subscribe. I hope all of you can get vaccinated quickly and easily as possible in Japan or wherever you're living. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Arigato!